everyone, welcome to my virtual recorded craft night. I know the goal of this series that Eileen came up with was to give youth ideas of projects that they could enter for general interest at the Scatticoke Fair. So the goal of mine is to give you some basic things that you can do with items as simple as a toilet paper or paper towel roll to make toys for your guinea pigs and your rabbits. So having toys like this are very important just because it is very good for their teeth and mental stimulation. So my stuff is kind of already prepped for the many different crafts that I'm going to show you how to do today. But the first one is a hanging tube toy. So if you had a paper towel roll, you could cut it in half. If you have a toilet paper roll, you could leave it, or you could cut it into smaller pieces like this. And what you would do is, if you had multiple, you would take, you can use one, and you can cut a hole in the top, and you would run string through it and tie it from the inside, or you could poke a hole down here at the bottom, tie a knot down here at the bottom, and the string would hang. Then you would kind of stuff hay on the inside. I wouldn't necessarily use treats just because they would fall out easily, but the hay is long enough that it would just stay in. Or if you had multiple, and again, mine are already cut into smaller pieces, you would take them and run a string through each of them all the way through. So then they would kind of hang like this. And again, you would shove your hay through it. You can tie it to their cage, or if they're out for playtime and you wanted to play with them, you can kind of hold it up for them. So that is craft number one. Craft number two is a treat toy. So kind of like you would for dogs and cats, the toys that have holes in them, and you can either put your own treats inside of them, or you can already buy them prepackaged with treats. I don't have treats to show you to put in them just because I don't have a rabbit or a guinea pig at home. I'm just kind of showing you what you can do, how to make them, and then you would use your animal's preferred treats. So what you would do is you would take this, and see how I kind of cut really tiny holes into this one? And what you would do is you could have it this small, or if you had a toilet paper roll, something that's just slightly bigger, you would cut little holes like this. You don't want them too big. You don't want the treats just able to fall out. You kind of want it to be a little challenging as they're tossing the toy around, then the treats kind of casually fall out. So what you would do is you would take that, put your little holes in it, and then you would bend the sides in, just like this. It's going to be a little difficult. There we go. Put a little glue or a little tape just so the treat doesn't fall out. Turn it over. Put your preferred treat on the inside, and then you're going to close this end as well. Just so, again, your treat is kind of stuck in there. And then again, as your animal is throwing it around, your treat should fall out of the little holes, just like that. The next one I'm going to show you how to do is to make a little ball toy. And again, they have these kind of for dogs and cats where it's a ball and there's a treat inside, and as they kind of unravel it or toss it around, the treat will eventually fall out. You can, of course, make toys, buy already made toys like I'm showing you, but I'm just showing you if you wanted a little DIY project to do at home for your animals. So what you would do, and I already have mine kind of cut into a few different pieces, into 4 different pieces. If you had a couple more, I think that would be helpful. And again, I wouldn't necessarily have holes already cut in them. Mine is just like this because I was showing you a couple different projects that you could do. So what you would do is you would start taking them, and you would just kind of start raveling them together like so. And again, there isn't really a right or a wrong way to do this. The goal is just so the treats aren't going to automatically fall out. And again, I think if you had a few more pieces, that would help. One that I did see that I was kind of messing around with earlier did only use 4 pieces. And so you can see how it's kind of like trapped down at the bottom. So what I would do is I have a little opening right here. I would take 1 or 2 treats, squeeze them into there. Hopefully it's trapped. And again, if you wanted to use a little tape down at the bottom, just to make sure right in here, not around the entire bottom opening, then that would probably help. And then again, as your animal's just kind of tossing it around, If you, again, had a couple more pieces and tried to get it more into a ball shape, you could, but it doesn't necessarily have to. And again, just something else that your animal could toss around and try to get a treat out of. The next one I'm going to show you how to do is a hidden treat platform. So all you need is a little box. This is something that I keep, and I just keep my sewing stuff in it, and you can see it's already pre-decorated. If you wanted to add that little extra craftness into it, what you could do is you could get an Amazon box or a plain box and paint or use construction paper, draw whatever you would prefer on the outside of the box just to kind of decorate it and make it more personalized for you and your animal. But all you're going to do, and again, as I've kind of got two already cut, is the toy that I showed you earlier where you had the holes cut in it and it was kind of closed on like this on both ends. Well, for this one, you don't want to have the little extra holes cut in it. You just want to have it bent and closed in on one side, and again, a little glue or a little tape. And what you're going to do is you're just going to stick it in this box. And this one, I could probably fit about 6, maybe 7 if I squeeze it in there. And so you just sit them up like so, all through your box. And under one of them, you put a treat. And you can see how long it takes for your rabbit or your guinea pig to find the treat. If you wanted to make it a little more challenging and you wanted to put some newspaper pieces or wrapping paper or tissue paper pieces kind of down in there, you can do that. But just the basic of the basic, just simple tube like that and one treat under one of them. And the final one I'm going to show you how to do is another box toy, and it's a digging toy. So you can use something as simple as this. If your box is bigger and you want to cut it a specific way, I've seen some done where they've cut it to where one part is left open and then the other part of the box is still intact. So there would kind of be like a little hole, or I guess a cubby is what you would call it, over the top of the box. And all you're going to do is you're going to take it and you're going to fill it with tissue paper, old newspaper that no one's reading anymore. If you have wooden block toys that you want to throw in there, you can do that. You can take your half ones done like this. You can take the ones that have holes cut in them and are folded on both sides and throw them in there. Again, do not put a treat in every single one of them, just because, like most animals and even humans, treats in moderation, right? You can even, if you had your little ball that you'd made, throw it all in there. And again, just don't have a treat in every single one of them. If you had 1 or 2 treats in a couple of them, that's fine. Or if you had treats that were in the box itself and not in the toys to kind of throw them off, that is also fine. And again, those little additives, toys that you already have, I already said tissue paper, newspaper, anything like that, just kind of throw it in there. And the goal is just to kind of give your animal something to do and they can rustle through it. If you wanted to add hay in there, you can do that. If you wanted to add a little bit of lettuce or fruit, piece of fruit that you like to feed your animal, that's fine. Just make sure when playtime is over that you do remove those from the box and throw them out. If you forget about them, they will be moldy and they will go bad. And the last thing you want is your animal going back to it the next playtime and getting into moldy fruit. It will also start to smell bad eventually, right? So just very simple little digging box for your animal. So I hope you guys enjoyed this pre-recorded craft night. Again, I wanted to make it as simple and as basic as possible for you to do at home. And it kind of shows you all the things that you can do with just as little as a toilet paper roll or a paper towel roll. If you have any questions, you can call the office or feel free to email me. My email is kls342@cornell.edu, and I would be happy to answer any questions that you have. Okay, so I hope you have a great night, guys. See you soon. Bye.